Dan Drake, this is Front Up. With us today is our old friend Nat Lowell, who has a lot of things he wants to talk about. So we're going to talk about some good stuff. Let's start with the steamship.
Yes, sir. How are you?
And your new boat. I'm well. Thank you.
Dan.
Thanks for coming.
New boat.
Let's talk about the steamship and the new boat and what's happening there. You mentioned that the last time you were here a little bit.
It's a little further along now. It's into the design stage with Elliott Bay, the people that built designed the island home, and another boat that we'll never see. And it's moving along. I would say that we'll have a contract awarded by the end of the year to build it. And it's
And to refresh our recollection, this is sort of a combination freight boat and passenger?
Yeah, it's going to have the hull design of the Martha's Vineyard, which is the Nantucket a little wider. So it's good in the rough seas. It'll be primarily on the Vineyard route, but it will free up the other three freight boats in a much more efficient way for Nantucket in the shoulder seasons and also maintenance. Because the boat that it's replacing, the Governor, is unusable 7 months a year and never will be on the Nantucket route. So we sort of don't really have 9 boats. We have like 8 1/3. And now we'll have 9 real boats in the fleet when this is finished. So it's the right thing to do, and we've gone through this. They wanted to build another island home, which would have been like close to $60 million. We went around and around about this, and we think that having a combination boat, this is going to have a 384 passenger capacity, which is plenty for Nantucket. It's going to have a small snack bar like the fast ferry. And on the Vineyard, of course, there's a lot more passengers on the slow boat over there. Everybody's on the boat over there. So it's a little different over here. We don't have that many people on the slow boat. So it could run on the winter schedule if it had to, if there was something happened to the Nantucket and the Eagle was in dry dock at the time, which we've had these incidents where we can't, or we get the Martha's Vineyard and they get that or something. It's going to allow interchange issues to work better. We can't have any more boats that can only go to the one island at this time anyway. So that's where we are.
Anything else on the steamship you need to know about?
No, things are going well. I mean, the Falmouth is getting a little testy over there. There's a lot of plans for rebuilding the Woods Hole terminal. We haven't seen, people from Nantucket haven't been to Woods Hole in a long time, but it's still the same as it was 35 years ago. And I actually think there's nothing wrong with it, but we can't use the other slip. Some may remember there's a slip that by the lee side that you can't really use. So they're going to make the slip, switch it so the slip there'll be 3 slips next to each other and change the office. And the people in Falmouth are kind of upset about it. Just like over here.
More traffic.
Just like over here. It's not more of anything. It's the same. It's just a different design. I mean, we're working through it. There's one member resigned and then another member resigned. So some colleagues that I actually grew quite fond of, Eric Eisendorf, and he is a long member of the Finance Advisory Committee and for council for 19 years. And he's gone.
He was from Falmouth?
Yep. And it's very unfortunate because he was a real good fiscal guy. He was kind of a, numbers type person. And they haven't even reappointed anyone yet. So there's been a lot of grumbling in Falmouth, but I think that will all subside once they realize that there isn't really anything changing. It's just a different building. It's not going to make more people go to the Vineyard just because they have a new office. That's crazy. But that's what they think, though.
You never know.
That's what they think.
If you build it, they will come.
Well, not necessarily. You still have to pay. So anyway, it is okay for me to talk about this. We are getting closer to an agreement with the High Line for them to build a new boat to, I guess I would say, replace the Lady Martha when the Gray Lady isn't running is the key thing that Nantucket is a concern with, which has been a problem for a long time. And the plan is they will be getting rid of their slow boat in the summer and shoulders and replace it with another fast boat. So there'll be 2 fast ferries running on the High Line side different times. The schedule that they have now will probably be tweaked a little, but there'll be another boat sort of plugged in a couple trips here and there a day. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to flesh out, but it is pretty close to an agreement. And we've been working with them for about 8 months on this, and it's going to be good for Nantucket. The Nantucket people are going to be served very well in the off season with a boat that actually will run when it's blowing 30 miles an hour. So this is what we need, and that's it.
Why does the INO go off? What is that part of the deal with the Highline?
We only have one boat. When do you work on it?
Well, it doesn't take 4 months to work.
Yeah, but you can't make money, and it's just like a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's the Dan. I mean, you see how it works here. Right. I mean.
Or dare I say a grocery store?
A grocery store. Well, the grocery store is just like a restaurant, really. I mean, you're out making money year-round. So, yeah, I mean, it's a perfect arrangement. The Highline and the steamship is really a very good relationship. They're without us, another boat line could come in and run in the summer and close in September or October, and that would kill their business, because it's not like a small business. I mean,
it's a big operation.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what you have to spend to do something like that, I mean, this boat's going to cost $14 million. I mean, it's unbelievable. So,
how many people? 400?
It's going to be, from what the Scutters are saying, it's going to be a little taller, because they have a width issue at the Straight Wharf. They can't just. The INO couldn't fit into Straight Wharf if it had to go there. So that's what I'm saying. They have to go up a little bit to get a little bit more interior seating for the off-season. You got to have that 300 interior, Dan, or else you got people, you're cramming it in, and that's when it gets up to 190, and they start saying, well, they're full, but they're really not. But they don't want to have people uncomfortable and be sitting outside. So.
Right. Somebody said recently that NIR, Nantucket Island Resorts, has an interest in the Highline. Do you know?
I haven't heard anything about that. They make a lot of money on their rent. I don't know anything about that. That rumor hasn't floated my direction.
Interesting.
In the wintertime, though, Dan, it's winter still. Yeah. Rumors, they're everywhere. That's one thing about Nantucket.
What's the best one you've heard?
The rumors hide all the truth.
What's the best one you've heard lately?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. That's a good one, though. I haven't heard that yet. I just had Murray on the phone today, so he didn't say anything to me about that.
Whatever.
But anyway, the shuttle.
The shuttle.
The shuttle idea has been around for a while. And when Stop and Shop invested downtown and recreated the A&P, now all of a sudden the parking issue is a little more of an issue, because now they have an investment and people can't park. They want to make it so that people can park. And the selectmen have done a pretty good job with this situation with the vans, the working van issue, and letting them park at the town pier lot for the winter for free. But this just raises the level of this shuttle issue that's been kind of floated for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I mean, it's very hard to make this happen. But Stop and Shop, the steamship, and Highline have all met with the town officials privately, and I think they're all on board. But I don't think it can all come together this year. Although it may. There may be something.
What do they do over on the vineyard? I've heard.
That whole thing over there is complicated. I think the steamship they have been supporting it. I think it's about $80,000 a year, but I think it's starting to support itself, and the steamship is sort of unwinding it a little.
How far away from the dock is the parking?
I don't know. I don't know, Dan. Exactly.
That has to be an issue.
Over there, I mean, you've got one boat. That everything is in Vineyard Haven, except I'm talking about, I know they have Oak Bluffs in the summer, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it's not like us with the downtown, Highline, and steamship, 2 different schedules. I call it the Zero Main Street shuttle. I mean, that's really what we're talking about, is Zero Main. I mean, if you can get me to Zero Main, I can get to where I'm going.
Not if you have a bunch of bags.
Well, I understand, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Bags have wheels now, so I'm just saying there'll be a bus to the boat.
Don't get me started.
But you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to make a point that that's basically what it is, and the Highline is year round, and it's that parking lot needs to rotate more. And the sports teams, parents go away and park for the weekend. I mean, all that stuff is part of the issue.
They've started putting up signs there, you know.
I know the signs are there, but I don't think it's. I think that's
it's
just
made a difference.
It's a deterrent more than it is. Well, the vans, once the weather got bad, the vans started parking there instead of the town lot because they didn't want to walk. That's got them to move because there needed to be some kind of communication with all these companies that come here to work in the winter. So anyway, so that's that.
Just so people know, one of the issues that came up was whether the airport parking lot could be used for this. But it can't because we charge people to use that lot, and we aren't allowed under our FAA grant assurances to make it available for nothing.
I think that there is an element there that can work at some point. I think that the work vans should, if they parked out there and paid you year round a reasonable rate, and there was a way to get to the boat. I know that's directly opposed to the plane, but
no, that's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and if they pay, you know, what everybody else pays, whether it's what it is now or something different, they can park there. But if they don't,
the whole thing. I was just talking with Paul this morning. It sounds so easy to do this, and I'm a private sector Republican dude that just. I hate all this complicated stuff. It's just so complicated.
Why would it cost $500,000 to get that lot behind 4 Fairgrounds Road ready to?
It depends on what you want to, how you want to build it. I think that the lot that we have already at 2 is the answer, but there's a lot of.
But I heard that it was $500,000 to.
Yeah, I think that's been scaled back a little bit. We're not building a highway here. We're just parking cars. Look, everybody has their opinion of what they think it should be like. And in the end, we just need a way to have a bus where you can park your car without having to wait an hour to get to town if you're staying overnight. That's all this is really about, is an overnight. That's it. I mean, it's not about going out to dinner. I mean, it can be, but really this is about the boats and Stop and Shop lot. Now I call it the MP lot still, to be able to rotate the vehicles. That's what I've said this for years. That's the biggest asset we have that we don't own.
Even get near them in the summertime.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, there's talk about Oak Street popped up the other day. I might as well bring that up, Dan. If you drive behind Dreamland, you'll see the curbing is flush with the street, which was what we required of them when they did the project.
This is on the Dreamland side.
Yes.
Right.
And you'll see that the curbing is turned so that vehicles could turn left onto Oak from Easy Street reverse the direction later down the road once if the town decides to do it, you wouldn't have been able to do it with the curbing the way it was. It had to have been fixed. Well, we got them to fix it for us with the project. And it could work, and that would allow cars to not have to go to Broad Street just to circle around and whatever. They don't have to do that, and that would be a smart thing to do, I think. So certainly worth a try.
But the issue there is for the people who are coming
to town. They go on Cambridge Street.
No, want to go west. People who want to go west from Broad Street.
Yeah, well, they're going to still go the same way, but
they're going to still have to go that way.
Yes, but when you're going into town, you don't have to go to the Strip just to go to town.
So then how are you going to get to the steamship?
You're still going down to take a right. Oh, Cambridge Street.
Cambridge Street.
Yeah, which is the 99% of the time. People don't even realize that you can drive down South Beach. I mean, they're not driving down there as a normal route. You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of a... you have to be a local to know where to go there. Cambridge Street's the number one way. So,
you mean you're saying Oak Street? A lot of people don't know that.
They don't realize it. Yeah, especially in the summertime. Locals know, but some people don't. So, anyway, look what happened with Broad Street getting one way. That was one of the smartest things. And no traffic consultant from off Island came up with that idea. That was our idea. Whoever, I don't know who it was, but it was somebody from here. I think Mike or whoever, a combination of the police chief. I'm not sure who it was.
While. When did that happen?
It was about 5 years ago.
No, it was longer, a lot longer ago than that. Yes, sir.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it's been that way since at least 2000.
No. Later. It's been later than that. It's okay, Dan.
No.
I bet you it's around 2000. We'll bet a lunch.
Gentleman's bet.
We'll bet a lunch. It's about 2007 or so.
No.
Or later.
No.
Okay. Well,
Anyway,
we'll have to dig that one up.
we'll dig
You'll
that
find
one
out and text me.
Yeah.